Have you ever wondered what secret many billionaires share but rarely disclose? A secret not found in traditional finance books or common motivational speeches. Today, we will explore this mystery and discover how Stoic philosophy has been the silent key behind the success of many of the world's wealthiest individuals. Before we dive into this transformative knowledge, I invite you to like this video, leave a comment about what surprised you the most, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content that could change your life. In a world where success is often measured by bank account numbers, luxury cars, and extravagant mansions, it's intriguing to find that many billionaires attribute their true wealth to something much deeper: Stoic philosophy. Robert Rosencrantz, a self-made billionaire, shares in his book The Stoic Capitalist advice for the exceptionally ambitious how the teachings of Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius shaped his journey from nothing to the top. For Rosencrantz, Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy, but a practical manual for facing modern challenges. He emphasizes the importance of self-responsibility, emotional self-control, and acceptance of what we cannot change. Instead of seeing himself as a victim of circumstances, he chose to be the master of his destiny. But what exactly is Stoicism, and why is it so valued by successful people? Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches living according to reason, accepting what we cannot control, and focusing on what is within our reach. It's about finding inner peace amid external chaos. Many modern billionaires have adopted these principles to navigate the ups and downs of business and personal life. They understand that by controlling their emotions and reactions, they can make more rational and effective decisions. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to value time as our most precious resource. As Rosencrantz highlights, you can earn more money, but you can't earn more time. This perspective leads to a more intentional life, where every moment is valued and every decision is made with wisdom. Another fundamental aspect of Stoicism is the practice of gratitude and moderation. Instead of constantly seeking more wealth and possessions, Stoics learn to appreciate what they already have and live simply. This approach not only reduces stress and anxiety, but also promotes a lasting sense of satisfaction and contentment. By adopting Stoicism, many billionaires have discovered that true wealth lies not in the accumulation of material goods, but in achieving inner peace, wisdom, and emotional freedom. And you, are you ready to discover this Stoic secret and apply it to your own life? Stoicism invites us to a deep reflection. What is truly under our control? For Stoics, the answer is clear: our actions, our thoughts, and our choices. Everything else, such as others' opinions, external events, and even fate, is beyond our direct reach. This simple yet powerful distinction has been a compass for those facing great responsibilities and critical decisions, such as major entrepreneurs, investors, and global leaders. By accepting that we cannot control the market, the economy, or other people's actions, but that we can control how we react to these factors, Stoics develop a chaos-proof mindset. And this is exactly what the most respected billionaires cultivate: emotional resilience. They don't panic in the face of crises. They don't let themselves be consumed by the euphoria of gains or the fear of losses. They stay focused. They act with reason. They reflect before reacting. This ability to keep a clear mind amid the storm is one of the greatest assets that Stoicism offers. Seneca wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This phrase strongly resonates in the heart of those who undertake on a large scale. Making risky decisions, innovating, building something grand requires courage. But not impulsive courage. It requires thoughtful courage based on reason, the kind of courage that Stoicism inspires. Another fundamental principle for Stoics, and for billionaires, is negative visualization. Yes, that's right. Visualizing the worst that can happen. It may seem strange at first glance, but this practice helps reduce fear, anxiety, and emotional dependence on results. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, practiced this exercise every day. He imagined losing everything, being betrayed, falling ill, or even dying. By doing so, he strengthened his spirit to deal with any adversity. Today, many of the world's most successful entrepreneurs do the same. They mentally prepare for losses, failures, rejections. This doesn't mean they are pessimists. On the contrary, this makes them realistic, centered, prepared. They know that failure is part of the path, that suffering is inevitable, that no one is exempt from pain or falls. But with a stoically trained mind, these difficulties don't destroy them. They only refine them. And that's where another powerful secret lies. For Stoics, and for the billionaires who follow them, challenges are not obstacles but steps. Every crisis is an opportunity for growth. Every pain is an invitation to evolution. This mindset completely transforms how they deal with financial losses, personal breakups, or changing scenarios. They don't cling to what they've lost. They focus on what they can build from there. As Epictetus would say, it's not things that disturb us, but our opinion about them. If you see a failure as a final tragedy, that's what it becomes. But if you see it as a lesson, a course correction, a sign of strengthening, then you come out stronger than you went in. It's this kind of philosophy that allows great names of the economic elite not only to survive, but to thrive amid chaos. And it doesn't stop there. Stoicism also teaches us the value of humility. No matter how much power, influence, or money someone has, the true Stoic never lets themselves be corrupted by pride. They know that everything is transient. That fame passes, fortune changes, time demands everything. This vision keeps their feet on the ground, prevents the ego from interfering with important decisions, and most importantly, keeps the soul light, free, lucid. That's why many billionaires, even having everything the world offers, continue to lead a disciplined, simple, organized life, not out of necessity, but by conscious choice. They understand that the most valuable luxury that exists is not in the things they own, but in the control they have over themselves. And you could develop that same control. You can cultivate that same inner strength. You don't need to have billions in the bank. You just need the willingness to change your mindset. Stoic philosophy is accessible to everyone. And the sooner you start practicing it, the sooner you'll begin to see the fruits. More clarity, more focus, more serenity, more direction. In the next block, we will delve into how to apply these principles practically in your daily life, how they directly affect your decisions, your performance, and even your closest relationships. Get ready for a transformation that starts from the inside out. Now that you understand how Stoicism shapes the mindset of the most successful people, it's time to bring this knowledge into your everyday life. Let's start with the first principle. Focus on what you can control. This simple idea may seem obvious, but applying it transforms how you deal with absolutely everything. Traffic, criticism, failure, anxiety. The next time you find yourself in a stressful situation, ask yourself, do I have control over this? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, act with reason, not emotion. Imagine an investor in the middle of a financial crisis. The market is plummeting, negative news is everywhere. The common impulse is despair and emotional reaction. But the Stoic takes a deep breath, analyzes the data, trusts the strategy, and acts based on what they can control, their behavior, their decisions, their discipline. This self-control is what separates those who collapse from those who grow. Another powerful practical exercise is the Stoic journal. Just a few minutes a day to reflect on questions like, what is under my control today? What upset me, and how can I respond better tomorrow? What am I grateful for today, even amid difficulties? This daily practice helps realign focus, strengthen the spirit, and keep values above circumstances. And speaking of values, this is another essential anchor for Stoic billionaires, living according to their principles. They don't make decisions based on momentary emotions or external pressures. They follow an internal compass that points to virtues like courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance. This reflects in business, relationships, and how they handle success. While many get lost in the glow of achievements, the Stoic remains humble and consistent. They know that being virtuous is more important than being admired. That being just as worth more than being rich. that sleeping with a clear conscience is worth more than any applause. And here's another important secret: the ability to say no. Many billionaires report that Stoicism taught them not to be swayed by the constant desire to please or appear busy. They say no to what doesn't add value, no to distractions, no to what isn't aligned with their goals and values. This kind of clarity is only possible when you know exactly what matters, and that can only be discovered by looking inward with honesty and discipline. Stoic philosophy is not a magic formula. It is a lifestyle, a daily construction. It invites you to observe, question, reflect, to put aside impulsiveness, pride, attachment to others' opinions. It teaches that true freedom is not doing everything you want, but not being a slave to your impulses. And that freedom is exactly what the world's greatest leaders have in common. No matter how many difficult decisions they must make, how many risks are involved, they act with clarity. Because their minds are trained, because their principles are clear, because they don't depend on outcomes to be at peace. That's what it means to be stoic. And here's a warning: being stoic is not being cold or indifferent. It's feeling, yes, but without being dominated by feelings. It's having emotions, but not being enslaved by them. You can apply this today in simple things. When unfairly criticized, instead of retaliating in anger, breathe, see if there's something to learn, and move on with dignity. When a plan falls through, instead of complaining, reflect on what is within your reach to correct the course. When dealing with a difficult person, instead of getting irritated, use the situation as training for your patience and empathy. These small daily practices build a strong soul that doesn't break in life's storms. It is this soul that sustains great ventures, great projects, great dreams. In the next block, we will explore real stories of successful figures who applied these principles, and how you can start your Stoic journey now, even if you're far from being a billionaire. Remember, the value of Stoicism isn't in the bank account. It's in your ability to live with purpose, peace, and inner power. Now that you understand the principles and practices of Stoicism, let's take it a step further. Let's see how this applies in real life through concrete examples of success. And more importantly, how you can apply this even without billions in the bank. Let's start with a Stoic concept that billionaires understand deeply: anti-fragility. Being Stoic doesn't just mean resisting adversity. It means growing from it. It's like a muscle that strengthens when stressed. The more you train your mind with Stoic principles, the more prepared you'll be for any challenge. Imagine an entrepreneur facing bankruptcy. A Stoic doesn't see it as the end, but as a lesson. They examine the causes, accept their share of responsibility, learn, and come back stronger. We see this repeatedly in the journeys of the most successful. They failed, a lot, but each fall was a golden opportunity to become wiser and more strategic. Take, for example, a common pattern among successful investors. Many have lost large sums in bad investments. But what sets them apart is how they reacted. They didn't despair, didn't blame the market, didn't give up. They reassessed, adjusted, and moved forward. That's Stoicism in action. Another example is in how they manage their time. While most people live reacting to the world, Stoics plan their day intentionally. They know that time is the only non-renewable resource, and therefore protect it fiercely. Marcus Aurelius said, "Think of how much time you save by not worrying about things that don't depend on you." And that's exactly what sets them apart. While many are distracted by social media, drama, comparisons, or fleeting desires, the Stoic focuses on what builds, on what has purpose. And you can do the same. Start your day with clarity of purpose. Choose your battles. Turn off distractions. Prioritize what brings you closer to what matters. Be ruthless with your time, but kind to people. That's living like a modern Stoic. And the most interesting part is that you don't need to be a CEO, investor, or politician to apply this. You just need to be someone willing to master your own mind. You might be studying, starting a business, leading a family, or seeking self-knowledge. Whatever your context, Stoic principles adapt and strengthen you. And when we talk about strength, we're not talking about external hardness, but internal solidity. The modern world is full of stimuli. It's easy to get lost. It's easy to react impulsively, live on autopilot, fall into comparisons, feed frustrations. But the Stoic doesn't live that way. They live awake. They observe their thoughts, question their motivations, stay centered even when everything seems to collapse around them. And that's why many of the world's greatest leaders study and apply Stoicism, because they know that true leadership starts within. There's no point in leading teams if you can't lead your own impulses. There's no point in having influence if you're a hostage to your emotions. There's no point in accumulating wealth if you don't have peace. Seneca said, "He is rich who is content with little." This is not a call to mediocrity. It's a call to freedom. The freedom not to need to impress, not to depend on external validation, to live with meaning. That's why, even with access to all luxuries, many billionaires choose to live intentionally simple lives. They don't confuse comfort with happiness. They don't trade their integrity for quick results. They understand what truly matters. And when everything falls apart, as it sometimes does, they remain firm. Not because they are superhuman, but because they have a solid philosophical foundation. You can build that foundation too. You can train your mind every day with the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. You can write a journal, practice silence, observe your emotions, meditate on death, reflect on time. Each small practice is a brick in building an unbreakable mind. And that's what the billionaires who follow Stoicism have discovered. True power is within. The rest is consequence. Let's now synthesize this knowledge and show you how to start your Stoic journey right now with clear, simple, and practical steps. Because the secret of Stoic billionaires is not unattainable. It is within your reach if you have the courage to live with awareness. We've reached the most important moment of this journey. How to start applying Stoicism in your life, even if you're not a billionaire. The good news is that Stoicism doesn't require wealth, fame, or status. It only requires a decision to live consciously, intentionally, and virtuously. Here are 7 practical steps you can take starting today to live like a true Stoic. 1. Practice daily self-control. Begin by observing your reactions. When something irritates you, stop, breathe, and reflect. Are you reacting with emotion or reason? This changes everything. Remember, you don't need to respond to everything. Silence is often the best Stoic response. 2. Write a philosophical journal. Before bed, write down 3 things. 1 action you're proud of, 1 reaction you'd like to improve, and 1 Stoic thought you want to maintain. This simple exercise develops self-awareness and practical wisdom. 3. Visualize challenges. Imagine the obstacles of your day before they happen. Think, if I'm criticized today, how can I respond like a wise person? This prepares your mind to handle the unexpected with balance. 4. Value time above all. Say no more often. Protect your mornings. Reduce time on social media. Prioritize what is essential. Remember, wasted time is wasted life. 5. Accept what cannot be changed. Change what's within your reach, but learn to let go of what isn't. This acceptance is not passivity, it's freedom. It's the recognition that not everything is in your hands, and that's okay. 6. Be guided by virtues, not results. Don't make decisions just to win. Ask yourself, is this action just? Is it courageous? Is it wise? True success is being integrous, even when no one is watching. 7. Reflect on impermanence. Meditate on death, as the Stoics taught. This isn't morbid, it's enlightening. It makes you value life more, forgive faster, act with more urgency, and love more presently. These steps don't require expensive books, millionaire mentors, or magic formulas. They only require consistency. And by applying them, you'll start to see real change, less anxiety, more clarity, less impulsiveness, more purpose, less noise, more direction. You'll notice that problems that used to destabilize you now simply pass. That criticism doesn't affect you as much. That frustrations no longer stop you. You'll understand, in practice, what Stoic billionaires already know. That internal control is the greatest asset one can achieve. And maybe the biggest secret they keep isn't a hard one to find, but one few are willing to live by. Because it's easier to follow the crowd, seek immediate pleasure, blame the world, live distracted. But living as a Stoic requires courage. It requires vigilance, reflection, firmness. And that's why the few who embrace this philosophy not only live better, they lead. They inspire. They leave a legacy. You're now faced with this choice. You can continue as you are, reacting to the world, being carried by emotions and circumstances, or you can take control. Begin your journey of self-mastery, live with virtue, clarity, and freedom. The decision is yours. If this content made sense to you, if it inspired you in any way, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, leave a comment about which part touched you the most, and share it with someone who needs to know this path. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Here, every week, you will find tools to become a stronger, wiser, and more serene human being. Thank you for watching until the end. Remember, you don't need to be a billionaire to live like a Stoic. You just need to start now.